Well, it's a brisk winter afternoon here in Kelowna. It's about 1 degree, something like that. But it's going to get colder as the week progresses. That's what they tell us. So, good idea to get out for a ride today while we can. But hey, we cannot complain. Our winter has been superb. I was thinking about this bike, the CB650F, that I have, and it's my only bike. And I was thinking about what makes a good all-round bike, and what value is there in that. Is a good all-rounder as much enjoyment, do you get as much out of it as, let's say, having 2 or 3 bikes that are more specialized, each in their own way? I mean, you got to factor in not only the fun factor of riding those specialized bikes, but you also have to factor in the extra cost and how that affects your life and your enjoyment. I guess if you're rich, that isn't too much of a factor, eh? However, in my situation, and I'm sure a lot of others, that definitely factors into it. So I'm kind of caught between the idea of stretching myself just a little bit and getting a second bike this spring, or just keeping this one as my only bike, because it's a good all-rounder. So what would be that second bike? I think I mentioned on other videos that a DRZ 400 or a DRZ 400 SM would be the choice. Something like that anyway. I mean, it's not necessarily that, but that idea, you know, something I can take up on the hills, on the dirt, and yet would still be kind of as a second fun ride on the road, because I'm not going to be able to get up on the dirt as much as I used to. But then, you know, I look at a lot of other people who have bikes, road bikes, similar to this, or, you know, in that category anyway, you know, middleweight road bike. A lot of times, maybe just because the way the bike is marketed, they take it up on the dirt regardless. You know, they throw some semi-dirt capable tires on there, like Shinko 705s or something similar, and they take it on the dirt. So it raises the question, you know, is that just marketing, or are those bikes really different? Those so-called adventure style bikes. And I guess it just depends on how a person rides, what kind of dirt you're talking about, right? I guess I could go on dirt with this, you know, with the right tires. I mean, I could go on dirt with these tires, for that matter. If it's just a Forest Service road and if it's not too deep in the gravel. But I don't think I'd want to do that. But it'd be an interesting thought. Could a person set up a bike like this to kind of quasi-double as an adventure style bike? Not for serious stuff, just go up on the dirt roads every now and again and be somewhat secure and not wrecking the bike. That would certainly save a lot of money. I mean, if I got a DRZ 400 SM, I'm looking at, I don't know, $9,000 by the time it's out the door, maybe more, I don't know. So I guess there's a lot of advantage to having an all-round motorcycle, one that's good at most everything, but it'll never be good at everything, right? I mean, especially when we're talking about off-road versus on-road. That really limits it. But for on-road bikes, to have, let's say, 2 or 3 motorcycles, and the cost and maintenance and headaches maybe that could give a person at times, versus one good all-round motorcycle. You know, this bike here, a lot of people might not think of it as a really good all-rounder, but it actually is. It is extremely good in the city. It's excellent on the twisties, you know, an inline four like this with 11,500 RPM limit and 90 horsepower. It's a blast on the twisties, and you could take it on the track very easily. And it is actually very good as a distance motorcycle on the highway. So if you want to do a little touring or what have you. And I say that because it's a comfortable ride, and the ergonomics are good for that, because you're not bolt upright. You're leaned forward just enough so that at highway speeds the wind supports your torso, takes the weight off your hands, but you're not bolt upright, so what happens is your spine doesn't get the abuse. So really, this bike, or any bike like it, is very good as a do-it-all motorcycle. And that saves you a lot of money, a lot of maintenance. Yeah, I think I could make a pretty strong case for that, for me anyway. I don't need another road bike, in other words. So the only thing missing in my situation is the ability to go off-road, because I really enjoy that. But because I can't do it a lot anymore, you know, because of my knees, I got to wonder how much money am I willing to spend to open up that option. You know, when I got this bike, it was all so clean and pretty. I didn't want to get it dirty, right? So I didn't want to take it on dirt roads or anything. But I have a couple of times. I think I did 1 or 2 videos with it on dirt roads a little bit. Certainly haven't gone far on dirt. But now that I've had it a while, I'm getting a little less fussy. And maybe I should explore that option. See what could be done to protect things if I take it off-road, for the rigors of that, the abuse. Well, I say off-road, I guess I wouldn't really go off-road. I'd go on logging roads, that type of thing. And I guess that's another point. I'm not really a fan of logging roads as much as I am of getting off the logging roads onto the trails. So would that really satisfy me? That'd be the question. You do not know until you try. And things change, I change, desires change. And if come spring I have enough spare cash to go buy a new motorcycle, I gotta wonder how it would feel if I didn't buy the motorcycle and instead had that spare cash kicking around to improve my lifestyle in all the small everyday ways, rather than that one-time purchase that I will then have to maintain. They say 3 motorcycles is ideal. Maybe it is. Or maybe 1 good all-rounder. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you do? Do you have 3? Do you have 1? And if you have more than 1, is the maintenance and associated costs and headaches worth it? Or would you rather replace all 3, free up a bunch of cash, and just have 1 all-rounder? Anyway, we'll talk about it in the comments.